Thanks for staying with us. She's a founder of Global Women Ambassadors, GWA. She's also the advocate of Migrate the Right Way. She is the tri-linguist, a crisis prevention intervention trainer, a community leader who has led thousands of Blacks, especially as the immediate past president of the Nigerian Canadian Association, Toronto, Canada. She's also a motivational speaker and online content creator. She's so many things. Welcome with us, Lady Kemi Amusan, probably known as Lady K, in the building. Hi, you're a woman of many parts.
Thank you.
Good to have you on the show.
Thank you so much. Happy to be here.
So tell us a bit about your work, your journey to what you do right now, because one of the reasons why we bring Women We Love on Wednesdays is just to be inspired by some of the work people do to get what they are. So tell us a bit about your journey, your story, and how you achieved what you've achieved so far.
Okay, Global Women Ambassadors is a women-based organization. We are based in Toronto. We are making foray into Nigeria, so we have offices now here in Nigeria, in Abuja, and in Ikeja, and also in Ibadan. So Global Women Ambassadors.
You personally, because I want to know how you create, what brought you into Global Women Ambassadors here?
It's about domestic violence. I'm a survivor myself, right? So I've gone through it, and being a community leader in Toronto, Canada, I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot of women. I've seen a lot of what happens, especially new immigrants, the time it takes you to settle down, and what really happens as a whole with African immigrants. So I've seen so much of that, and with my own personal experiences, I felt I could be of help. I could support, because so many, like today now, as of today, we have like 30% of marriages among the Blacks breaking up, right? Immigrants. So if I could do something about that, because the moment a marriage breaks up, the next problem you have is with the children. And Black male children, especially in another country, is not so easy for them to integrate. You have the cultural shock problem, and then the family is disintegrated. The family is supposed to be the buffer for you. So those are the things I saw that made me to start the organization.
You say that most Black families are breaking up, not even abroad alone, but here. But what were those peculiar kind of abuses that you saw, that you intervened in the domestic violence kind of abuse? Were they physical? Were they emotional? Because, we know the laws there.
We have financial, we have physical, we have emotional. I give an example of what many men do, not all men. For example, there was this case of a man that brought his wife. She was the new immigrant coming to meet the husband, and the husband was taking all the money from her, that he borrowed money to bring her. How much? He never told her how much it was. The only thing was, we are owing money, we have to keep paying. And she came with 3 kids. So those 3 kids were collecting money from the government, and he was the one holding the ATM card, collecting all the money. To even give her money for, please, sanitary pads was problem. So that's an example.
So how did you...
Before I let Ramatu come in, let me before I bring you in, Ramatu.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of Nigerians who are migrating, and maybe your own organization can give us some insights on the do's and don'ts before you start even coming into Canada. What are the kind of things, what kind of conversation should you have with your spouse? What kind of agreement should you put on the table before you start migrating?
In fact, that is exactly why, part of the reasons why I came to Nigeria, because now we need to understand that migration is not a problem. It's not a crime, but it's going to be a crime unto you if you migrate without adequate information, without adequate preparation. So you actually need to connect with the people that can help you. For example, if you plan to go and stay in another country, talk to an immigration consultant before you go. Talk to a counselor. You're talking to people who are your friends. That's good enough. That's not good enough. They give you information, but that doesn't mean they're giving you the right information as of that time, because the laws changes all the time. For example, Canada now, we've been having a lot of issues. Number one issue that we started having was influx of Africans into Canada. That started since like 2014, and we've been working with the government how to solve this problem.
Okay, so
Yeah.
okay, so can you tell us how you help these women that are victims of this domestic violence? How do you help
We
them?
give them counseling. We give them the information they need to connect with the organization. We have different organizations in Canada, right? Canada is a country that really absorbs everybody, and they have services for everybody. So there are different levels of interventions. So we connect them to those organizations that will help them to stabilize.
how do
and we have counselors that would counsel. And then we have a group, what do you call it? We have a committee that we call Igbimo Apero. That Igbimo Apero in Yoruba language is like committee of those that can counsel. So we try to intervene because we are able to approach those issues in culturally sensitive manners.
So some would argue that when you go to the West, it's a woman's world. The law always protects the woman, and usually any type of counseling you're going to get from Nigerian community is against how you're going to leave your husband, how you're going to break the home, how you're going to break the. It's about how to suffer the man. Let them know that yes, and I know you both land. Don't come and do this. The rubbish you do in Africa, don't come and do it here. So they always shy away from getting involved or participating because they feel that you guys you're only there trying to empower the women to leave their marriages. Could you dispel that, or is that part of what you actually do?
I remember a story. Someone that we were talking, we wanted to do a program together with Osun State government then. And he went on my social platform and called me and said, you are one of them. I said, one of? We say, one of women advocates, the ones that never listen to husbands, the ones that always break homes. But no, we are not part of those because we operate with cultural sensitivity. We still believe, no matter how you put it, anywhere there's hierarchy. So in a home, there's hierarchy. We have the men who are supposed to be the ones that all others follow in the house, quote and unquote, according to our culture. So again, cultural sensitivity is part of what we use in our approach.
You struck something when you
Yes.
said, the people, try to negatively describe your work as, the ones who break the homes. Recently, an occurrence happened within my family friend's home where a pregnant woman, fully pregnant, as in almost at due date, walks out of her home from morning till night. They couldn't find her. She went to a friend's place, and later, she picked up her phone and expressed that she was at a friend's place, and she walks back home. And the focus of everybody around was, where are you coming from? As opposed to, why did you leave home? Why is she not at home in her own home? Why did somebody fully pregnant just wants to rest. If she can rest somewhere else, there's a problem at home. As opposed to fixing that problem. And when you try to put your mouth, you are trying to break the home. You are trying to sharpen her eyes. You are trying to destroy her. So what approach would you advise in that situation? Because, when they shame you, you don't want to go through the right approach anymore. I would have preferred everybody ask her, what happened to you? Why are you not at home in your home? What could have led you to leave? As opposed to, where are you coming from? We must establish where you are coming from,
I will take that question, but I will conclude what I was saying about what she asked me about we being a source of problem in homes, the way we counsel, right? The problem is the mindset of our people. When they get there, I give another example of two women. I trained crisis prevention intervention. So before the crisis starts, please nip it in the bud. So while I was teaching, these two women, they told me, they said they were expecting their husbands and they will show them shege when they come. So I was like, shege, why? They said the things they take their eyes see for Niger, then go show them double. I had to start talking to them about what is called forgiveness in relationships. You are in a country where the powers of the men have been stripped. Actually, the way we put the hierarchy of power in Canada? I don't know about other places. In Canada, the first most important person, they are the children. The next set are who? Women. Please tell me who are the next set?
Men.
Cats and dogs. before it's the turn of the men. That is how we say it among ourselves. So when the men get there, usually when we are doing sessions with them, we see it in their faces. They are already defeated. They are deflated. Nigerian men, I would say, they are the best set of men in the world. I say that without apology. I'm sorry. A Nigerian man wants to be the man of his house. He wants to be the one taking care of his family. They work hard. Outside the country, they work double hard. But now they get home, they don't have mouth to talk. Before they say something, a wife is saying, I will kick you out, I will do this. I've actually heard the story of a woman that changed the locks before the husband came back.
Wow.
Yes. So we have the powers as women. Please, as women, when you are, that's part of what we are saying. JAPA right. Do it the right way. Don't just go. Get education. Understand the land you are going into. Understand that the moment you go there and you now start using the newfound powers over the men who are trying their best to be the best, in that place, they cannot just beat you anyhow. They cannot act anyhow.
But
So you
should they
have the
beat
power.
No, so
Yeah.
what she's saying is, some people,
Yeah.
you might need to be more sensitive to the men when they are in that country, because everything around seemingly supports the women
Exactly.
and represses them. So it's to raise that awareness. And like she said, I know some people that the reason the women pushed for relocation, also they can show the man. So at least I'll go to a place where all the things you are doing here, you can't get away with it over there. So that was the man's,
Lots of
the woman's
timing.
agenda.
So let's
So
go
I
to the
guess
other
that's what
things that
she's
you do. I don't want to
saying.
just focus on this because I know you're a counselor. Is there
Hey, I wanted to, because my question was going to, before even counseling, like you speak 3 languages. I wanted to, yes, tri-linguist. I wanted to know you more about what your background is, how you got into the 3 languages, and how that has created an edge for you. Has it created any edge for you?
It has created a lot of edge. The story of how I got into 3 languages is a very funny one. My mother is a street disciplinarian. People call me Margaret Thatcher. I say, you don't know Margaret Thatcher. This is not Margaret Thatcher. I had 4 credits in my WAEC then, and she looked at me and said, okay, Shebi, you don't want to do anything. If you want to read and go to school like your mates, you would have read and have at least 5 credits to go to university. Now that you don't want to go to university, I will give you a job to do. Then she will bring, you know, those days I used to go and fetch water, right? She will now make me to start fetching water into a drum. Once that drum was almost filled, by the time I came back, she would have removed all the water, poured everything away. I would start all over and start crying. She said, Shebi, you don't want to do, you want to do alabaru for your mates. And that's what you will do. Until my father came one day and said, they are doing prelim in one school for French. Are you interested? I went inside and packed my things. I said, I'm interested. So that was her. And I started doing it. I loved it. And yeah, that was
So you chose which of the languages to
French.
French.
Yeah, the prelim was
running.
Yeah.
Right. So what else do you do? I mean, because obviously you're in Nigeria now. We know with your organization, you're trying to do a lot of things to help women, to counsel them. But aside from that, what else do you do? Okay.
Before I go to what else I do, so that time does not go against us, equally, now we are helping women who are trafficked. I'm not sure if Nigerians really know the enormous problems facing us now, because the girls that are being trafficked, most of them do not have voices. These are girls that they go into the interiors to tell their parents, to tell them, oh, there's job outside, we can help them to be sweeping, and they will be making money. They will not tell them how much, you see, $1,000 in a month. These are people who have not seen $100 in a month, right? So those ones will even sell their things to give them their girls as young as 11 years old. And when they get there, I give an example. I work with another organization, they're in Mali. As they're getting there, you see some women like we ourselves are already waiting, and they'll be like, okay, bring this one, bring this one. They will price them. Sex trafficking. They become sex slaves. So I believe you saw what happened just like 2 weeks ago, that Madam Abike Dabiri had to go to Ghana to bring those girls. How many were those girls? About 12 of them?
Yes.
And one of them actually was a sister to the trafficker. So we are having that problem now, and we are having another problem in Canada now. People just coming. Everybody is getting visa, they are coming. They tell them once you get to Canada, no problem, you have work. There's no work like before. No, underground work that they will do without papers, no, it's not available. For you to change, to become, to have your documents to work, is not so easy any longer. Even to apply as a refugee, that they will automatically give you a work permit like before, no. Now when you get work permit, for you now to get the job is a problem. And I'm not sure if you saw it, we were on television making noise when our people were coming and sleeping on the bare floor on the roads.
Sorry.
And 3 of them died within 3 months. Those were the ones I knew personally. And the problem is because people are not preparing well. They just hear, oh,
To Canada.
yes, they calculate our $2,000. That $2,000 in a month. $2,000 in a month before was a lot of money in Canada. Because then it used to be like $800 for your accommodation, for a 1-bedroom apartment. But now 1-bedroom apartment is $1,600, is $1,800 from your $2,000. Okay? Now, people come, when they get there, how much do they have? 5 million. They change the 5 million, they come. When they get that, they cannot get accommodation. They cannot get where to live. Now they're on the street. Now, eventually you get, let's say you are able to just stay and you get your permit to start working. When you, to get a job is another problem right now.
Preparation ahead of time is
God bless
extremely
you.
important.
God bless you. So connect with those that can help you. Talk to those who can help you before you leave the country. Don't JAPA anyhow, JAPA right. That is the message I've brought. Apart from getting into trouble with woman traffickers who will use you as sex slaves for the women, there are others as well. They are removing their organs.
Organ trafficking.
Organ trafficking is ongoing. Nigerians need to understand this. Please, you want to JAPA, there's nothing wrong with to JAPA. Right from the beginning of manhood, people have always been JAPAing. But now instead of JAPA, and I want to inform you youth, if you want to JAPA, jack up, go to school. When you go to school, from the school, you are able to
Get a better
get better opportunity, know the people, know the land. And please study where you are going. Don't just go anyhow.
I think we can wrap up on that. Thank you so much, DK,
So
for
my
sharing.
message is JAPA
Right.
right.
Thank you so
you.
much. That's all we can take on today's show. Hope you learned a few things as we have. Thank you so much, madam, for being here. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.